Okay, let's talk a little bit about the history of the Gambeson, and that is in particular that garment that I am wearing currently, which you can see I used it already. I won my harness with it. That is pretty much what the marks are on it. Well, the Gambeson is a form of body armor which is used with materials such as linen, then wool, sometimes even strap of clothing pieces and horsehair, used as bedding, and it dates back as far as at least the Roman era. But the Gambeson did not become like fashion until like the early to late Middle Ages, so we're talking a little bit past the Crusader era into like the Battle of Visby, dated 1361, so pretty much about mid 14th century. And this Gambeson that I'm wearing in particular right now, it has like 4 layers all together. So we have an outer layer of linen, then we have an additional layer of linen, then we have layers of wool bedding, and then a third layer of linen, a lighter linen on the inside of the garment. And this particular one you kind of wear just as you would put on a like modern sweatshirt. You just kind of put it on over your head, and it's quite cozy, thick. It's all natural wool. In this case, all natural materials. It takes impact pretty well, and depends on how a Gambeson been made, how thick they are, and whether they treat it or not. As we know, the Romans did treat their Gambesons from documentation. We know that from documentation. There's a video on Todd's workshop on his YouTube channel about it. He's talking a little bit about it. They used like 32 layers of linen and used to soak their Gambesons in red wine and salt. We just do not know the exact mixture, nor for how long they've been soaked, and whether it's only been the bedding material or the whole Gambeson altogether. What we do know from a tryout, this is reference to Todd's workshop, that that mixture does some sort of chemical reaction which does make the linen material stiffer, therefore harder to penetrate with like spears, arrows, weapon of that sort of thing. And from my understanding, there had been a video test done with 27 layers of bedded Gambeson, wool, linen, I don't know, which did stop a English Wabo arrow test. The arrow did not went through. And again, it depends all on who made it, which time frame, and whether the Gambeson had been made for standalone body armor, or the Gambeson been made to be worn with additional armor as like mail armor and the early form of coat-off plates developed into like brigandines, then later even into breastplates and backplates as we go further into the 15th century. But a different subject. Gambesons are actually been quite fashionable in the medieval times. They do their job well. Will they protect you from getting broken bones if you wear Gambeson by itself? No, they do not. You will get broken bones, but you will live. And this particular Gambeson that I'm wearing is a Gambeson style of the early Middle Ages. You're talking like Battle of Hastings era, so pretty much about mid to late 11th century. And it goes down to about my knees. This particular Gambeson type, it has like open armpits, and it comes with an advantage and disadvantage. Open armpits, I have much greater movement in this Gambeson, can yield my weapons better in a fight, and I don't sweat as much around that era. So disadvantage is its armpits known to be one of the very few vulnerable spots in medieval harness. Now with this Gambeson alone, that'll be the easiest spot to get through. But with this Gambeson and like a mail shirt, and on top of that, in my case, what I wear is a brigandine and late 14th century style plate pauldrons, and I do wear some other defenses too. What I do not wear is additional rondels that have been used into the late 14th century but started to fade out in the early 15th century as additional armpit defense. So therefore I'm not using that. And as the time goes on, the Gambeson became like more of a battered jack, if you will, as plate armor developed further into, and we're just not worn as standalone armor anymore, since the weapons of that time then would have easily penetrated the Gambeson. And they became then shorter too. As time moved further into the 15th century, Gambesons became shorter and got renamed to like Accaton and arming doublets, which had only one purpose, to give the wearer a bit more comfortable feeling of their plate defenses, and to serve as an impact cushion from heavy blows in that time. Well, I'd like to hear your thoughts on Gambesons, and for you people that are into HEMA, your thoughts as well, if you would compare the historical Gambeson with the modern HEMA jacket. And appreciate you tuned in on the channel of Sir Joseph of Hessen. Till next time, bye folks.